Hi, I'm Linda Wellbrock, co-founder of Own It Ventures.
And I'm Melissa Gasnick-Clater, the other co-founder. And we are here today with Christina Stoneburner of Fox Rothschild, who is a key sponsor of Own It Ventures and a huge supporter of helping us help women entrepreneurs and business owners. So welcome, Christina.
Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Linda.
And what we want to talk to Christina about today is basically protecting yourself from in the social media world, because as business owners we know that you have to be blogging and tweeting and Facebooking, and Christina's here to advise us on what are some key issues that you should be aware of.
Yes. Well, the biggest one is probably not a legal issue.
Okay.
The biggest one is think before you type.
Yes.
It's such an instant gratification. You know, you can tweet in a second, you can post to Facebook in a second. You don't have to have a formal marketing plan.
Mm-hmm.
You still should think it through like you would a formal marketing plan. There was a recent case with a social media firm. That's what they do. They design campaigns.
Right.
They were working with Chrysler. Chrysler's really been trying to reinvent themselves. They found themselves fired about a month ago because one of their consultants who was going to meet with representatives at Chrysler in Detroit apparently was not a fan of Detroit and tweeted, "No one in Detroit knows how to F and drive."
Not good.
Yeah, Chrysler immediately fired the multi-million-dollar account. So, like I said, a lot of times it's just a matter of thinking before you post or tweet. That holds true for accidentally finding yourself into legal problems and legal implications as well.
Right.
Well, to that point, you don't realize who is really following you and reading your blogs and paying attention to your tweets. And so, yes, I know that from personal experience. Not quite that extreme.
Right. And you can also find that things can be used against you. You know, you have for example, trademark case against somebody else. You think somebody's infringing on your trademark, but you've gone out and maybe been inconsistent about what your trademark is,
right,
or let certain people use it without permission and not focus on it. So you can wind up having stuff you say come back to haunt you as well.
Right. Now, you joined us at our last event in the social media debate with Mike Michalowicz, which was extremely well received. But to that note, I mean, how much of this should people be, really thinking about from a legal perspective, or is it really a fear-based mentality? I mean, should they be approaching the internet and saying, "Oh, I better not do this, better not do that," or how can they make sure that they're getting the best social media marketing out there?
I think you don't want to run away from it. It is a technology that's here. It's becoming the wave of the future. There's a definite value to a lot of marketing and product groups. The issue becomes really sitting down, just like you do with all aspects of your business plan, and assessing what exactly are your social marketing goals, your needs, and where you can best apply it. Because you don't have to be doing every single thing, because there are issues that might come up. You know, if you want to have a blog, maybe you're somebody who does counseling and advice and something like that. You want to have a blog with little postings and things like that. You have to be very careful about not disclosing confidences of other companies. You also have to be careful that something you say is true and not what we call defamatory, which is, we've all heard of defamation claims. If I'm saying my opinion, I personally don't like this product, I've reviewed it, I don't like it. That's my opinion, that's not actionable. But if I say, this product is dangerous, it doesn't have any of the safety features, they didn't comply with what the rules are, and that's not actually true.
Right.
That's what we call defamation per se, because it's affecting somebody's business. So you can expose yourself to damages with sort of not thinking out how you're going to do and how you're going to plan posts and responses and things like that.
How do you keep tabs of what your employees or consultant or contractor is putting out there under your name?
To the extent that it's authorized blogs that you control, you want to make sure you're the blog master. You want to make sure you have editing rights to remove posts immediately from the post. If you don't have a formal blog but you're going to let employees blog, consider having a policy that these people are authorized to blog, everybody else has to get permission. So that way you can sort of monitor who is blogging, who's not. Even if you don't have something that formal, we have a blog ourselves, We do happen to have a lot at Fox, so we have blogging rules. But if you didn't have that, you could, and you should, consider having a policy. What can be said? You want to make sure you're protecting your intellectual property. You also want to make sure your employees are not violating other workplace codes of conduct, primarily harassment policies. We've seen over the last few years claims that have come up because of things that happen off work time and not even using the work computers. But people get in chat rooms and start making harassing comments or even threatening comments. And then those become issues in the workplace that employers still have to investigate, discipline people, and deal with. So you want to make sure you have a written policy, because without going into a lot of complicated details, there's some federal laws that affect how you can search stored information. So you want to make sure you have a policy that you're alerting employees they don't have a right to expectation of privacy. And those sorts of things. And in the event you get a complaint, you're going to be required to investigate the complaint.
That's great information. And well, we thank you again for all of this, because it's an issue that anyone and everyone, whether you're a business owner or not, has to deal with. So,
and it's becoming more and more of an issue and of importance for the small business owner and entrepreneur, that they have to be aware of and needs to be addressed. So,
right, absolutely. I think it's a great equalizer, because an employer with 3 employees and 300 employees can reach the same audience.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much.
Well, thank you. It's so nice seeing you both again.
Thank you. And if you have more questions, you'll see Christina at our next event on October 29th. And thank you again.